What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and in this one I go over why this Michigan defense just got a whole lot scarier following their win over USC. I go over why that is, plus Sherrone Moore goes over the win over USC, the Michigan offense showing more as the season goes on with Alex Orji in as quarterback, and he talks about the running backs, Donovan, Kalel, Mullings, who will be running back one, and the offensive line. Plus, Michigan impresses a ton of recruits over the weekend. We go over a few, including the top 100 linebacker Nathaniel Owusu-Boateng. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so I wanted to talk about this Michigan defense, and I really think that this Michigan defense just got even more scarier over the weekend with what we saw, especially from Wink Martindale calling plays. And here's the reason why. And I know, some people are still a little concerned about Wink Martindale and was upset about some busted coverages that probably wasn't all Wink Martindale's fault. A lot of it was player miscommunication from the players, and we'll talk about that in a little bit here too. But what we saw from Wink Martindale Saturday showed that he not only learned from the Texas game, but he was willing to adjust his blitz rate in order to win this game against USC, and that's exactly what he did. Now this season and against Texas, that blitz rate was pretty close to 50% of the time that Michigan was sending a blitz, and we know that Steve Sarkisian and this Texas offense absolutely torched this Michigan defense. Now, there were other factors. The defense was really not rested that whole game. Michigan's offense was turning the ball over, giving Texas offense great field position, but I thought Wink Martindale called a very, very good game against USC. That blitz rate was close to 30% against USC, and going into that game, that's exactly what Wink Martindale and this Michigan defense had to do. Otherwise, we could have seen a different game, if that blitz rate was closer to 50%. Now, I'm sure it made it a lot more easier for Wink knowing that Michigan was getting pressured with their defensive line. I mean, there were just some game wreckers all game long, especially Josiah Stewart, which Sherrone Moore did say today that he was just an absolute game wrecker in that one. He had 2 sacks. So Michigan was getting good pressure with just sending 4. So, just knowing now that Wink has learned from the Texas game and now has shown that he will adjust if he needs to in order to win a game going up against a good offense like Texas or USC. So I really do think that Texas game was really huge for this team. I think they learned a lot. Wink Martindale, it was only his second game as the defensive coordinator for Michigan, and I think he learned a lot in that game, and I think that helped him prepare for this USC game. And now, I think this Michigan defense, as long as Wink continues to do what he does, lowering the blitz rate against, a good passing offense like Texas or USC going forward, because he might have to do that, a few more times this season against Oregon or against Ohio State, especially if Michigan's defensive line just sending 4, if they can get pressure with 4 players, I'm sure it makes it a whole lot easier as a play caller. But I was impressed. I was impressed with the whole defense, the way they played, the play calling from Wink Martindale. He did exactly what he had to do, lowering that blitz rate closer to 30%. Now, there were a couple of miscommunications, a couple plays where USC's receivers just made a heck of a play. Now, there was a USC touchdown pass to Jay Fair, which was miscommunication on a pressure. Michigan was supposed to have someone in coverage there. Sherrone Moore even said that in his press conference today. So, it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be some miscommunication. It's really a whole new defense. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's just a lot of new players on this team compared to last year. So they're going to continue to get better. The 1-2 Jacoby Lane, which USC then took the lead 24-20. Makari Page, I talked about it in the post-game video. That was probably mainly on him. He kind of came over there too slow, probably should have been in position to pick that ball off. So I don't really put that one on Wink. I think that was just Makari Page. He's got to get over there faster and pick that ball off, which probably should have been picked off. But other than that, I mean, you could really say this Michigan defense held USC, or could have held them to 10 points. You know, there was a fumble from Donovan Edwards that led to 7 points, the fumble from Kenneth Grant that led to 7 points. But all in all, this defense was stellar against a really good Lincoln Riley-led offense. So let me know what you guys think about that, but I thought Wink Martindale called a much better game. And I did want to talk about a couple things of what Sherrone Moore did say in his press conference today. Sherrone Moore said that Alex Orji was, he was pleased that Orji took care of the football. He did say that, you know, there's going to be more to his game in the offense that will be shown in the games ahead. You know, Michigan definitely found their identity in this one. They're going to be a run-heavy offense, but that doesn't mean there is still a lot of time for improvement in the passing game. I think we're going to see, you know, improvement week in and week out in the passing game. You know, as Alex Orji in this offense continues to improve, and they will. You know, Michigan was without junior tight end Colston Loveland, who missed Saturday's game. Sherrone Moore did offer an update on him. He said he was close to playing. He is doing a lot better, and we'll see how, you know, if he will play Saturday. But he said the doctors said that it was in his best interest to not play in that game Saturday. He did say the Michigan offensive line played its best game of the season against USC, which is backed by some stats. If you look here, Michigan yards before contact per carry by week this season, per Pro Football Focus. In week 1 against Fresno State, it was 1.79. Week 2 against Texas, it was 1.50. And these last 2 weeks against Arkansas State, it was 2.36. And this past weekend against USC, it was 3 yards per carry before contact. So yes, Kalel Mullings, Donovan Edwards ripped off some huge runs, especially Mullings, but that offensive line has definitely improved, and you love to see it. Sherrone Moore also gave a big shout out to Michigan's wide receivers. He said all the group cares about is doing what it takes to win, and you know, in the future they will get their plays and you know, time to make plays. He also said that they will discuss you know, potentially giving Kalel Mullings more carries than Donovan Edwards, or even making him running back 1. But he did say that Donovan Edwards also played well. You know, he beat himself up over the fumble, and he said that he probably won't do it again because he beats himself up over it so much. And talking about Minnesota coming up, he said that teams under PJ Fleck are tough, physical, and disciplined. They play ball control offense and smart defense. And I said, you know, they will try to make you make a mistake. So I could see this one probably being a pretty low-scoring game, but we will see. Minnesota's defense did struggle with Iowa's rushing attack, so I'm sure Michigan will get right back to their rushing attack against Minnesota. Now, Michigan, they did impress a lot of recruits over the weekend. The 2026 4-star offensive tackle Tyler Merrill, he told Brace Merritt to the Michigan Insider that Michigan win was definitely a hardcore, old-school football win. He said Michigan's run game, for sure, it impressed me. As an offensive lineman, it was a great display of grit. Michigan continues to be a top school for him. He said, I think the feelings stay the same. Michigan also hosted the huge recruit out of the 2025 4-star top 100 linebacker Nathaniel Owusu-Boateng. He told E.J. Holland of the Wolverine that I would say my favorite part was just seeing how electric the big house is. He said Coach Wink did a great job. He dialed it up against Lincoln Riley. He'd say that I feel like that's a scheme where I can come in and play early at will or Mike. And he said that every time I go to Michigan, they impress me even more. So Michigan, definitely a top school for Owusu-Boateng. I'm sure that visit definitely helped Michigan a lot. Then the 2025 3-star defensive line Washington commit Caleb Smith did take a visit to Michigan. Michigan has not offered him yet, but he did tell Brace Merritt to the Michigan Insider that it was a good quality win. The atmosphere in the big house was electrifying, and I love how the team fought all the way to the end to win the football game. And I did say that if Michigan does offer me, it'll be a nice offer, and I did say I would be open to coming back up again. That's a potential defensive line target for Michigan in the 2025 class, which they could use another guy, especially losing Nate Marshall. But no doubt Michigan impressed a lot of offensive linemen, which there were a lot of offensive line recruits on visits this past weekend. So a lot of recruits enjoyed their visits. It was a very, very good environment. The stripe out was a success. The atmosphere was amazing, and obviously that was just an instant classic between Michigan and USC. But other than that, that's gonna wrap up today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. And other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.